Hello everyone, this is my husband Shawn. He's just spent the morning fishing off the rock, as they say in Bermuda. So he's literally been fishing off rocks with a line, and he's actually come home and he's basically filleting the fish. And look, he's got breams. He's got several breams. That one's quite a big bream. He's an expert at doing this with fish. He loves fishing, and on his days off he tends to do that, go fishing for a few hours. It's really restful. This is from years of practice. Alright, and we've got Ruby overseeing. You can see the breams. And it's funny because Ruby isn't really bothered about the fish at all. And that's a fillet. People either like to have the fillet, some people like to just have the whole fish. Shawn tends to do the fillet for me because I'm not very keen on cooked whole fish. And then there's Charlie overlooking the process. Oh, he doesn't seem interested in the fish either, really. Oh, here he is. He's thinking, oh, what's going on? So what Shawn tends to do is get enough fish to fillet for a couple of bags, and then we'll have fish sandwiches for the one day, and then he'll put some in the freezer and he'll get them out. But to be fair, he actually goes fishing off the rock probably once a week. Very relaxing. I like doing it as well. And there's Charlie. I don't know quite sure what he wants, but yeah, he doesn't seem to know what to do with the fish. Because cleaning the fish, filleting the fish wouldn't be right without a nice glass of wine. And you can see that Shawn has a glass of wine sitting there just in case he needs to have a drink in between times. Normally he actually prepares the fish down by the rocks, but the rain's been around, so the weather's not so great, so he's near to home. And he stays away from the house because he knows I don't like fish smell. Yep, Charlie's just hanging out. The fish aren't that big really. He tends to just put a piece of bread on a line, and as soon as they're hooked he pulls them up. And they're actually quite light fish, they're not too fishy tasting. I'm not a major fan of very strong tasting fish. These are actually quite nice, you know, got light flavour. They do actually cook really nice, and they're really nice in a sandwich. And in Bermuda they tend to do a fish sandwich with raisin bread, which to me coming from the UK seemed a bit odd, but the taste of the sweet with the fish really works well, and it's pretty much a national dish here in Bermuda. Because they're quite small, the fish, they don't actually give a lot of meat, so that's why you probably have several fish, but it never overfishes. And these are abundant in Bermuda waters. He's just using a household knife. We did start off with all the proper knives, you know, paring knives, but really you just need a sharp knife. And if you're a skilled fisherman like Shawn is, you know, he can actually do fine work with just the knife he's got. You can see it's just basically a normal knife that you have in the kitchen. So the meat's quite nice. So he's taking the vein out. Very quick. If I try to do this, I'll probably be about an hour just doing one fish. Shawn's probably been fishing like this probably about 40 years. And a lot of Bermudian kids fish. Older adults are probably doing it all their lives, where their dad is taken down to the rocks. There are quite a lot of commercial fishermen here, but it's quite regulated. Fishing licenses, there are not many of them, and they tend to be handed down within the families. So as a new fisherman, unless you actually have a family member with a fishing license, you can't actually go out on a fishing boat fishing. But it's perfectly acceptable for the normal person to go out on a rock and fish breams and turbots and yellowtails, because you're not really fishing in any quantity. The bags of fish here, they're £2 a fillet. It's probably equivalent to $35, which is quite pricey, but you know that it's coming straight out the sea into the bags and you take it there and then. People tend to like fillet, and they do sell fish whole as well. We brought a lobster on Friday, which cost us $60, I think, but it was actually dead. Shawn likes to get them alive, and because he knows they're fresh, but we actually bought a dead lobster on Friday, and it's in the freezer, and we'll probably do lobster salad in the next few days. We do eat a lot of fish, which is pretty much abundant here. So Ruby's not interested in that fish at all, and nor is Charlie, who's just hanging out. Yes, he knows his name. The newest addition to our house. Obviously not interested in fish. So these are breams. Very abundant, all right. And what we'll do in a later video, we'll show you the end result of Shawn cooking the fish and what it looks like in a Bermuda fish sandwich, which honestly, if you were to say to me fish sandwich on a raisin bread, I'd say no. but it tastes wonderful, and the way Shawn actually does it is really nice. And once you have one of those fish sandwiches, you don't really need anything else to eat for the rest of the day. A fish sandwich in Bermuda will run you from $25 to $30, and they use all kinds of fish here. And there are places that are specialised in the fish sandwich. Just keeping it iced down, so there's plenty of fillet there. We've still got plenty of fish. So you might have, well actually we'll probably have enough for 3 bags of fillet. So we use a bag of fillet for 2 fish sandwiches. So the other 2 will go in the freezer. So he's putting a couple of whole fish aside for our next door neighbour that prefers to have the whole fish. They do take the fillet as well, but we tend to give them whole fish when we can. Can you imagine it? Just sitting in your garden, preparing fish after you spent hours on the rocks catching fish with just a line and a piece of bread. That's it.
Zien die filet daar.
Oh, Charlie is eating the fillet. He realises that it's something edible. He seems to be liking it. Ruby's not interested. So remember, these are quite small fish, so a couple of cuts and that's all the meat you're going to get. So you have to make the most of every little bit of meat on the fish. So these fish have been out the water probably a couple of hours, so they're very fresh, and they're always kept on ice as soon as they come out of the water. There you go. it's just a steady process of each fish, a couple of cuts. And this is from somebody that actually is used to cleaning fish, fishing all his life. There's just the skins. So you can imagine this fillet is going to be several meals. So we have fish sandwich, but also what he does is he shallow fries the fish. We're gonna have it with vegetables or vegetable rice, callaloo, any kind of vegetable really. It's quick and easy to cook. Well, it is for my husband, not necessarily for me, right? So you repeat the process after each fish. Cut, remove the vein, put the fillet in the bowl with ice until you get to the very last one. So was this a couple of hours fishing or 4 hours fishing? How many hours fishing was it?
Well, three
So
hours.
The fish that he's got here now was 3 hours of fishing. And remember, it's just a single line with a bit of bread on the end of it, off the rocks in Bermuda. Nothing special, didn't need loads of fishing rods or anything like that, or different flies or anything. It literally is off the rocks, piece of bread, and these are the fish that is catching. If we were out to sea, we'd probably catch turbots and yellowtail, occasional hind, it depends. And of course it depends on how big the hook is as well, and what kind of line you're using, because obviously there are different sizes of hooks and different lines, so it will dictate what kind of fish you can catch and whether you can get them in. I mean, these fish are good just to fry whole. People like them whole. Definitely not my thing. I definitely like my fish fillet.
Really small.
Charlie's not too sure, but I think once he gets going, he quite likes it. Ruby's not worried about the fish, she's just hanging out. How many have you got left?
Couple in there.
Are you leaving those ones whole?
Small ones, yeah. I think he likes the small ones.
Yeah. So we have a few whole fish left, which we're going to give to our neighbour. They're not like super big, but they're quite nice size just to fry up. People quite like to eat the whole fish. And we definitely probably got a couple of bags of fillet, maybe 3 bags, depending on how big the bags are going to be, which will probably do 3 meals. overall, which is great because that saves you a lot of money, especially if you're paying $35 here for a £2 bag of fillet. What's that?
Yeah.
We left the biggest one to last. Yes, I think this bream was actually on steroids. I've never seen a bream. Hang on, lift it up, Shawn. I've never seen a bream that big. That's quite a solid piece of meat there, isn't it? You'd probably be able to get a fish sandwich just from that piece there. Cat is not quite sure. I think it takes him a few minutes just to comprehend that it's something that he can eat. And he's going for it now, look at that. That's one half done, look at that. So he's done one half, he's doing the other half now. There's one thing I do know, you probably have to have really strong hands to clean fish like this. I'd be useless. However, I suppose when you've been doing it for so long, it's just second nature. And Shawn's got very strong hands. This one apparently really pulled on the line. He thought it was a different kind of fish. So he didn't realise it was like a mega sized bream. When he was pulling it out of the water, he thought it might be a snapper or something. Big snapper. last one.
Really, yeah.
So this is the last fish that he's going to fillet. The other fish are whole fish. Yeah, look at that, it's carcass. Amazing. I don't think you can actually beat having fresh fish straight from the sea onto the plate. You can really taste the difference to the fish that you actually buy from the supermarket that's frozen or has been hanging around on display for a while. Definitely a different taste. And like I said earlier, this is a light tasting fish. So the people that aren't into the really strong fishy taste, this is actually quite a good compromise. And it's very filling. Great in a fish sandwich, but it's also great on its own with a vegetable, rice, anything that you want to put with it, or on a salad. Shawn, you're done.
Yep. You better move away because I'm going to scrape your fish.
All right, so he's scraping the whole fish, and he knows I don't like the scales. He does it with the knife, but he has got a proper tool for scraping the scales off. But at the end of the day, it's just taking the initial scales off. It just gives them to the people, they can finish it off.
Finish, you're gonna start giving me a bill.
So this is the innards. So preparing a fish is quite straightforward if you know what you're doing. And these are little fish that will fry up quite quickly and taste quite nice. And you can stuff them if you want. I think generally people here tend to just throw them on, fry them up and eat them like as they are. But in our household, we tend to just have fillet or steak. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of whole fish. So that's it, that's the process. Thank you, Shawn. He's virtually finished. I'm going to get him a bowl because he wants to put the fish in the bowl. And have a nice afternoon.